Hello and welcome to the Dream Factory, a new series here on Backbody Drop Podcasts, which will be looking primarily at Rev Pro and maybe a few other parts of the British and European scene as and when. I'm Ian Hamilton, and if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're listening because you're used to Alpha Professor on the same feed, hope you stick around because we'll be opening the doors to the Dream Factory on a somewhat regular basis, hopefully with the odd guest here and there. So, why the Dream Factory? Well, long-time fans of Rev Pro will remember the Cockpit Theatre, home of the regular monthly shows before the pandemic, and of course the adopted hometown of the late Curtis Chapman. In its heyday, the Cockpit felt like an exclusive club. With due respect, so the ballroom. 150, 200 people packed into a unique venue with matches, names, and incidents you'd like not see elsewhere. Mad Kurt and Eddie Kingston? Shigehiro Irie pouncing Chris Brooks into the crowd? The undefeated Great O'Khan? Pack Michael Oku? I mean, yeah, not all the memories of age, but that's bit res. But the Dream Factory is more than just a name. I've been a wrestling fan for over 30 years now. God, I'm old. But my first Rev Pro show was back in August 2016, so 8 years ago now. Live at the Cockpit 11, headlined by Zack Sabre Jr. and Trent Seven. Safe to say a lot's happened in those intervening years. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, and a lot of building work and a lot of stuff knocked down. It's been easy and fun to say. It's easy and fun, some would say, to tear things down, but building up is where the hard work lies, often unnoticed. This podcast isn't going to be a rah-rah, everything is awesome, look at what's going on, but rather catch up on the state of things, and a lot of things you may not necessarily have caught up on. Now, about a year ago, I sat down to start this, and something just didn't feel right. Coming out the record-breaking Copperbox show, Rev Pro's 2023 ended with a couple of tournaments, British J Cup, Great British Tag League. Those are nailed on for the rest of this year, but 2024, we're back to the Copperbox. But first, we've got the Summer Sizzler that's at your call in 2 weeks' time, and about 10 hours ago, as I sit down to record this, we had the card announced for this. Of course, last night in Coventry, Rev Pro's second live at Coventry show, we had a main event announced via video package or video interference from Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and we've got Michael Oku taking on MJF for the AEW American title, of course, the former international, former All-Atlantic belt, title that's had a fair bit of history of Rev Pro, but yeah, I just wish they'd not said anything about that being for the AEW belt, because now you can have a fairly healthy number of audience going, is Oku going to win this? They're now going to be turning over and thinking, how's he going to lose this? Because, let's be frank, MJF not announced yet, but he'll be defending that belt at Wembley in 2 weeks' time. Michael Oku's got Luke Jacobs in the main event of Copperbox a couple of weeks later. Do we really think that Michael Oku's going to be winning with that belt? I mean, it could be a win, but maybe not, winning the title. And heck, the day before he's in Germany for WXW's European belt. Is it going to be 3 belts Oku? Or are we going to be talking about how we've got the lesser spotted Rev Pro overbooking shenanigans? Would you want? Of course, this won't be MJF's first outing in Rev Pro. He lost at El Phantasmo at high stakes in February 2019 in his debut at York Hall. Then a month later, he beat TK Cooper in Northampton. Those were the days Rev Pro hitting random towns that didn't have obvious wrestling links. The rest of the card, of course, got announced earlier today, and we'll just run down with a couple of notes. We've got the James Castle tribute match, Gideon Gray taking on Dan McGee. This will be Gideon's first singles match at York Hall in 2 years, as last was the surprise appearance from Eddie Dennis on Eddie's return after the close down of NXT UK. God, that feels a lot longer than 2 years ago. This will be Dan McGee's first match for Rev Pro since May of 2022, last in a tag with later Mad Kurt against Lycos Jim. His first York Hall singles match since those World of Pro Wrestling TV tapings back in September 2018. That's a million lifetimes ago, it feels like. Of course, James Castle passed away this past June after a lengthy fight with leukemia, and this is the first time Rev Pro's been at York Hall since, so it makes sense to do the tribute match there. Some good times for James Castle at York Hall with the Revolutions winning, of course, losing the tag titles there back in the day. And James, part of those World of Pro Wrestling TV tapings, one of his last matches at York Hall, if not his last, would have been with Dan Head and James Castle at win over, I believe, Yours the Hungry, if my memory isn't failing me. Next, we've got a 4-way for the number 1 contendership for the Rev Pro Undisputed British Tag Team Championships. Try saying that 10 times fast. It's Youngblood of Oscar Loiber and Yuto Nakashima taking on the Greedy Souls. That's Brendan White and Danny Jones. Golden Boy Santos making his York Hall debut and David Francisco, and Sunshine Machine, TK Cooper, and Chuck Mambo. Of course, that Sunshine Machine Death Tour continues, so are we getting Sunshine Machine blowing up at your call, or is there going to be a tease of Death and Glory going into Copperbox, taking on the Grizzled Young Vets at the end of the month? Either way, think some fortune was going to boil down to a tag title shot, or at the very least, maybe another tag title run. But that Millstone Round Sunshine Machines next is absolutely going to be coming into play. And in a four-way match, you don't need to be pinned to lose. So we will see what comes there. Do Sunshine Machine end at your call, or do they have at least one more left in them? We'll find out. We've got a Cruiserweight Scramble qualifier. We've got Leon Slater taking on Jack Cartwheel. Cartwheel you may have seen in AEW Ring of Honor, maybe a bit more in GCW, maybe even in Glade over in Japan. This, of course, is Cartwheel's European debut, let alone his Rev Pro debut, and a little bit of happenstance. These two met August 11, 2023 in GCW with Leon Slater winning. The match this time around, August 11, 2024. Funny how things work out. Next up, we've got Ricky Knight Jr. taking on Cesare. This is a rematch from Raw Deal in Stevenage this past June. Back then, Ricky Knight Jr. took the win. Is he going to be winning 200 bounce and stretch on that unbeaten run, at least in singles matches? He's not lost, of course, since losing to Anthony Ogogo back at high stakes. But it's a weirdly quick rematch. Rev Pro don't tend to do rematches this quick, and RKJ doesn't have anything set up for Copperbox just yet. It's going to be interesting to see who wins, who loses, and what spawns out of this, because RKJ, former undisputed British heavyweight champion, pretty much the odd man out in the card this year, and Cesare, come from literally nowhere, Spain, to be a huge part of the Rev Pro roster, so we'll see what spawns out of this match. Up next, we have a Rev Pro undisputed British Women's Championship. We've got Nina Samuels taking on Danny Luna. Now, we're still waiting to see who's replacing Stephanie Vicker at the Copperbox match. Of course, it was meant to be Steph Vicker against Danny Luna for the title there. Nina Samuels could upset the apple cart there. At the moment, we do have a 5-on-5 tag with the Cutthroat Collective against 5 TBAs. If Nina wins, you'd assume she's out of that match, or who knows what to do with that. But there is, of course, some form between Nina and Danny. Both were in NXT UK back in the day. And we have 6 prior singles matches between them in Britrez. Both share 3 wins apiece. When it boils down to title matches, Danny's won 2 of the 3, which have been for a belt, but never has been a title change between the two. I think it's going to be title change here. I mean, Nina was a late fill-in by choice otherwise in Coventry yesterday. So she is going in with some momentum, but Nina leaving your call with yet another belt to her grown collection. We also have Donovan Dijak against Robbie X. That was set up in Coventry, so last night, after Robbie X lost to Cesare, Dijak came out. Robbie was pretty much on his way back to the back, got attacked by Dijak. We feast your eyes. Post-match, Robbie saved Oku from a beatdown. This will be Dijak's Rev Pro debut at your call. He has appeared there once before in November 2016, back when Ring of Honor were doing TV tapings there, losing to Jay White. I wonder what he's doing these days. And the final match announced, we've got Trevor Lee returning to Rev Pro, first time since January 2017. It was a loss to Trent Seven at high stakes at your call. He's taking on Luke Jacobs, who can be a pretty big warm-up for the Copperbox title match. Trevor Lee's Norton 3 in Rev Pro. Luke Jacobs coming off of the Progress World title win last night. So a bit of momentum there, and Trevor Lee coming out of the WWE run. I wouldn't say a chip on his shoulder, but looking to re-establish himself. And an upset here against Luke would be a hell of a statement to make. So 8-match card there. And if you're wondering why no New Japan involvement, well, we've got the G1 going on and match shows taking place at the start of the final week. Of course, we also have Tomohiro Ishii already announced for Copperbox, but yeah, it's a pretty decent card. Obviously, MJF is going to be the the big star drawing this, and Rev Pro did do the thing where they put tickets on sale with no card announced, shifting a fair amount of tickets, then put prices up on, I believe, Sunday, and whether this be the early bird sales ending or whether it's the MJF thing last night. They went from having a dozen front row tickets unsold on Friday to them all gone within about an hour, at worst, of the MJF announcement. So whether you like MJF's shtick, and there's parts of it I really don't. The Will Ospreay match was pretty polarizing and was bits about his routine I'm not a fan of. But it's shifting tickets, so we'll see how packed your call is. Again, it's 2 weeks before the Copperbox, two big shows right on top of each other, and yeah, some may say it's not a smart move, but we'll see how that all phases out and what threats come out, because between your call and the Copperbox, we do have a live in Southampton, the final stop, where I think be at least one or two cruiserweight scramble matches. So final pieces slotting into place in Southampton. So yeah, August. Don't think you can be able to snooze before Copperbox, because there's a lot going on. This year's anniversary show returns to the Copperbox in a matter of weeks, and I think the last Andy Quilden announced on commentary they're on pace to match last year's number. 4,072 was announced. That was impressive considering matching that number. AEW is not going to be matching last year's Wembley Gate, so if Rev Pro even come close, that's going to be a huge win. With a low number of fans in town, a little bit more in the way of indie competition in terms of the shows and other events going on. It's a big win, and again, another one of Rev Pro's biggest gates of all time. That's already undisputed. But the second year, Copperbox is going to be the focal point of the British Indies. You've got Attack, North, Progress, Eve, all running in and around London that weekend, and a load of a couple of smaller indies as well, which people may not necessarily have heard of. But yeah, we're still missing that X factor, I guess you'd say, we would have had pre-pandemic, pre-speaking out. Venue availability in London is notoriously scarce for wrestling. I mean, Christ, look at Eve. They spent weeks looking for a new venue and announced one literally 6 weeks before the show. With Resistance Gallery closing, you've lost a lot of homes for places like Eve, for the XWA. Hey, remember them? London Lucha League, Lucha Britannia, a lot of promotions of that size. If Res Gal was still a thing, you would have expected that to have been a hub. Just a lot of people swarming around. Heck, the fact that it's within spitting distance of, at least in East London, it's within spitting distance of the Copperbox. A lot of people could have been able to do that and make a quick trip to Copperbox now. It's a bit weird, Eve running and Evening's Holborn Tube Station. Progress, they've got the ballroom show on the Monday, I believe, but again, the ballroom's taken on Sunday because it's a music venue by trade. Tufnell Park don't believe lost their license, that's the word doing the rounds. So yeah, you're really scratching and clawing for venues which A, are able to do wrestling, but B, are also of a size where you're not going to be losing your arse. I mean, your call to a point probably would have been free at some point, but hosting 1,000 people, you're not going to be getting that for state British is in these days, at least not at a low level. But that's kind of a kind of an ode or tribute to the small promotions we lost along the way. But as far as the Copperbox this year, the card is pretty much falling into place. It's not exactly been smooth sailing either. The highest profile issue, of course, being Stephanie Vicker pulling out after she signed with WWE. That long advertised Danny Luna title defense is now Danny Luna versus X. Summer Sizzler, of course, Nina Samuels is the challenger. We've got a show in Southampton a week after. And then, who knows, does it get announced at your call? Does it get announced at the 1865? Does it get announced, after the fact? It's pretty big shoes to fill, and, we'll need to see what rabbit they pull out the hats, because, there are some people annoyed that Vicker, pulled out of doing her dates. It's not exactly like she's on WWE TV straight away, but it is what it is, contract offers are made, and it's not like WWE were on the best of terms of Rev Pro historically, so this wasn't exactly something I was surprised at, let's just say. Of course, your big main event confirmed finally was Michael Oku taking on Luke Jacobs. The undisputed British Heavyweight Championship on the line. Of course, not a first-time match in Rev Pro. In singles matches, at least, Oku's 2-1 against Luke. But the one in that 2-1 came 2 years ago at the Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, the Summer Sizzler, and that marked the end of a record-setting reign for Michael Oku with a cruiserweight title. Now, Michael Oku's got a record-setting reign in terms of defenses of the heavyweight title. Is lightning going to strike twice? I mean, Luke won the Progress title this past weekend, and if he were to beat Oku, he'd be the first man to win the Progress and Rev Pro heavyweight belts at the same time. No precedent there, but there is precedent elsewhere, and I guess secondary belts, if you want to call them those. When he beat Oku to win the Cruiserweight belt, he was also Progress's Atlas champion. Two-weight champion back then. So, is Luke going to be setting the records that really can't be beat? Time will tell. Of course, Luke stole the Copperbox show last year of his match, albeit in defeat, to Tomohiro Ishii, and we had confirmed after 229 earlier in July a new opponent for Ishii, and it's a man who Luke Jacob has never lost to. JJ Gale, he's going to have a crack at beating Big Tomish. Say the big coming out party of sorts for JJ. He's had a lot of big time matches, maybe not a lot of big time results, but big match for JJ Gale, and hopefully a match where he really stamps his place on the roster, because he's had a few runs where he's built up a couple of wins and then been off a few shows. That's kind of been an issue of a good kind for Rev Pro. I mean, we've seen this year, somehow, despite not having the women's championship on most of the shows, despite the cruiserweight belt being, MI for whatever reason, despite the tag team titles being pretty much on ice, they've still built up a lot of stories and a lot of roster members to the point where you're not having to have the same guys on every show and burn through matches all the time. Unfortunately, what that means is you'll have guys like your JJ Gales who'll have a winning streak, but then because he's not in the big feud of the day or the big storyline for the big shows, he loses and then he kind of falls down the pecking order. A win or a big show-stealing performance against Ishii this year could put him on the same kind of track that Luke Jacobs was this time last year. Also announced for the Copperbox, we have the now traditional scramble match. So Neon, who won the Cruiserweight title from Jordan Briggs at Fantastica Mania earlier this year, he's, of course, already defended the belt against Will Caven in Sheffield last month. Another defense over El Barbaro Cavanario in Arena, Mexico earlier in July. Guess that's all the title defense is done, but Neon will be back in England at the Copperbox in a six-way scramble. We've got, of course, Will Caven beat Robbie X at 229 earlier this month. Cameron Kai beat Danny Black in Coventry this past weekend. So we've got two of the five challenges there. Of course, we have announced for your call, we've got Leon Slater and Jack Cartwheel. That's the third spot, so 2 spaces to go. So we'd expect, one qualifier at Southampton, maybe a mystery opponent. We'll see. Just for the way the build have had behind Cameron Kai in the last few weeks, you must have him down as a favourite. And yeah, he lost to Neon and Stevenage very recently, but it feels like there's a new wind behind Kai. The blatant buzzard connection, the ongoing coaching that's been really prominent as part of his on-screen presentation. So, if we're going to do a title switch, is Cameron Kai the guy, or is it someone who's yet to qualify? Hey, I didn't mean that to rhyme, but there you go. Connor Mills and Ethan Allen, that's been confirmed in commentary, with Ethan Allen doing the big fake out. Yeah, it's right. Ethan Allen is done, and then just absolutely whacking the crap out of Mills with a crutch. Old school wrestling, that's the kind of thing you want. Is do a big fake out, do a swerve, and really put a stamp on, of course, Ethan Allen with 2 high profile knee injuries, and they played just like a fiddle. They injured him, air quotes, as much as you want, in Stevens with Mills attacking him after that Revolution tag match. But yeah, now we've got a really heated match, and hopefully this will be the big Ethan Allen comeback for big win to get him back on the map after I wouldn't say a stuttering comeback, but definitely it's been the kind of way he's been simmering away rather than, he's been picking up results, but it's not been like a big, hey, I'm back, this is the big statement match that we all hope and expect he will come up good with. Match for Sickos next, we've got Zack Sabre Jr. and Hechicero. Of course, Hechicero, he's had a bit of a run with AEW, but either side of the whole visa issue. He was over last year and had a match with Michael Oku, Fantastic Mania UK, and of the Your Call shows this year. So this one is absolutely going to be a dream. My only way for this, it's going to be 11 match card, 10 match plus pre-show. As if this is in the middle of a card, I do worry this is going to be used by folks as a unofficial interval, I guess. But those who are going to be up for this are going to absolutely adore this, and I'll be one of them. Tag title defense, they'd already confirmed every belt is going to be on the line. So Sunshine Machine, they've got the Ride or Die thing still alive. The 4-way number 1 contenders match at Summer Sizzler will provide challenges for the Grizzled Young veterans. I don't want to say, the match if Your Call is going to be, elementary, but you kind of suspect the way, the winds are pointing, it's going to be GYV and Sunshine Machine. And maybe this is where Sunshine Machine actually have that one final run and, stretch this out a bit. I mean, either way, Sunshine Machine, one last title run or one last title match, going out on top. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they play this, given that we've had a lot of the near misses in recent weeks. And Coventry yesterday, Sunshine Machine had to pull out the bag against, all due respect, a lesser team in True and Lacey, at least in terms of their placement of the card, in terms of their experience as well. So against a much more established, well-travelled team like GYB, this could be the end if, of course, they make it that far. Of course, we already touched upon the women's title defence of Daniel Lynn or maybe Nina Samuels against X, depending on who they get to replace Stephanie Vicaire. And then you've got the Cutthroat Collective 10-woman tag, so Alex Windsor, Sapphire Reed, Mercedes Blaze, Lizzie Evo, and Nina Samuels taking on 5-women TBA. Now, if they do the title change, they have Nina Samuels defend, and it's now 4-on-4. That might even things up a bit, but in terms of who the other side could be, Rev Pro have been utilising a few different women lately, at least in terms of the usual lineup. We've had Kanji, I would say, is a shoe-in for that team. Lucia Lee in as a contender, she's had a few outings. Rio been in and around, had the recent title match unsuccessful to Daniel Luna, but you'd suspect she is pretty much close to a lock to that team. Maybe Anita Vaughn, she's had a couple of outings. Debbie Keitel, back in Rev Pro this past weekend, and changed sides, for want of a better word, saving Kanji from a beatdown from the collective after the match. So you've got 4 or 5 names there as it is, and then maybe look at names that either bringing over their show this week, that same weekend. Be interesting to see who they have. Of course, Nightshade maybe in the back pocket. She was booched out for collective. You've got the obvious vengeance story there. So we'll see. We've got 2 shows to see if they adding more in. Maybe the Southampton show will be where they sneak a couple of new names in. That's 8 matches announced, or with things leading up to it. They've said it's a 10-match card plus 1 pre-show outing, so spots are running out. I mean, Ricky Knight Jr. doesn't have a match left, and here's a prediction out left field for you. What's Grado Khan up to? Ricky Knight's got this long unbeaten run by current standards. Is that a match you booked to right a wrong of the past? I know he's not in the title picture yet, but RKJ did lose the belt without ever being in a match. And granted, he had a rematch with Khan, but Ricky's getting some steam under him. Grado Khan, kind of so-so with G1 right now. Do we get that right wrong from the past? Of course, other names missing out for matches right now. Zaya still not in the card, and assuming Sunshine Machine win the 4-way for the tag title shot. A couple of regulars MIA. You've got Youngblood, Oscar Loibu, Yuto Nakashima. They're not in the card yet. Greedy Souls, they missed out on Copperbox last year. David Francisco, Joshua James. That's just a few of the core roster who you would expect to be around, haven't got matches, and who knows, maybe contenders outing, but again, 11 matches, you can't get spots for everyone, but they're going to try the damnedest. So, yeah, 8 matches and time and spots running out, and we'll see what the final card is, and maybe we'll do one big preview episode of the Dream Factory before we head to the Copperbox. But, of course, after the Copperbox, it ain't going to be calming down, and this schedule for Rev Pro is absolutely nuts. If you think, we're going to be putting their feet up. No. So the week after the Copperbox, there's a lot of miles going on the clock. They're heading to Berlin for 2 shows with the GWF. This is the double impact shows at the Astra Culture House. So it's Rev Pro with the GWF. Friday, August 30th and Saturday, August 31st, so before the WWE shows in Berlin. Both of these have got very early bell times, so if you're planning on watching these on live stream, if there is a live stream, I have to see if Andy can be bullied into that, or if GWF do tend to live stream, so it'll either be on Rev Pro On Demand or the GWF YouTube. But if you are planning on watching, just a heads up, you're looking at 1 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. local for both of those shows. So if you're looking, maybe it'll be on demand on the GWF YouTube or Rev Pro On Demand on a Friday, Saturday, early Saturday afternoon for the second show. Then Sunday, September 1st, they're going to be hauling us back to London. The 229 for the first live in London show since the Copperbox, because of course we're not running in August. A renovation work after 229. End of September at the Gordon Craig Theatre in Stevenage for 2024's British J Cup. So names will be getting announced pretty quickly for that. Bell time in Stevenage 6:30, then the day after at the Network in Sheffield. Stevenage and Sheffield always go hand in hand. 4 p.m. bell time at the Network in Sheffield there. October 6th, Sunday at the 2 to 9 in London, again, usual 4:30 bell time. Following week, Sunday, October 13th, live in Southampton, the 1865. That's a 4:30 bell time as normal. Then we've got a couple of shows recently announced. Global Wars UK from the Doncaster Dome. Yeah, that far north. Saturday, October 19th, 4 p.m. bell time. Hey, I went to the Doncaster Dome back in the day when 1PW originally ran. Andy, young Andy Quilden was a referee. Wonder if we'll run this show till midnight, bit of a taste, some of the authentic 1PW flavour back when Andy used to, officiate there. Probably not, but yeah, it's a pretty good venue from back when I used to go, and 1PW did a very short-lived reboot, and the setup there looked absolutely fantastic. We'll see how Rev Pro dress up the dome, but yeah, I think be one of the furthest north outings for Rev Pro in quite a while. Also announced this past weekend, the weekend of Saturday, November 16th, of course, Sunday, November 17th, we've got the inaugural Trios Grand Prix from the HMV Empire in Coventry. Can't say I was expecting Rev Pro to be dipping into the Chicago playbook, but we've got a couple of months to see how many trios they pull out the bag for that one. And yeah, after that, the usual London Southampton swings. We've got another Sheffield show in December. Weirdly, no Stevenage show after the British J Cup, and of course, with the Priory Centre in St Neots being shut for renovation, there's nowhere obvious for the annual season's beating show that every promotion seems to have to do at the end of the year. So we'll see if they plug any gaps in there. I mean, it tends to be shows in Portsmouth at Guildhall that could fill in the gaps, but yeah, it's going to be absolutely manic between now and the end of the year. York Hall, Copperbox, Berlin, Stevenage, a lot of big shows. Rev Pro, like saying, there's no unmissable shows, and yeah, they're doing these. And you think as well, we've got the Trios Grand Prix, potential Great British Tag League. Plenty of dates for that to fit into. There's been some chatter of the Queen of the Ring coming back after a year or two off, so plenty of stuff to go on, plenty of stuff to sink your teeth into. RevProOnDemand.com if you want to sit at home on your laptop or Chromecast and watch it at home. All these shows you can get tickets for at revolutionprowrestling.com/shows. Quick look through now, pretty much everything we've talked about there, apart from, of course, the newly announced Coventry shows. The Global Wars in Doncaster, that's still on pre-sale as we hit record. But everything else, so your York Hall, your Southamptons, your Berlins, your Stevenage, your Sheffields, all of these are up now to buy through the Rev Pro website. And yeah, I'll do. Let's say this is a warm for the Dream Factory. If any feedback and stuff you want to hear, we do all the show reviews and more often than not photo albums over on backbodydrop.com. Of course, you can follow that on Twitter at BigBackBodyDrop. Instagram at BackBodyDrop. You'll see photos being posted on both of those. Instagram stories from shows we're at more often than not. But yeah, any feedback on this, please hit us up through the website or through the social medias. Let us know what we want to hear. Of course, most often we'll be hoping to have these, not just me talking for half an hour. We'll aim to have guests, so it's a bit more flowing back and forth and not just like a lecture or what have you. But yeah, trying to keep this nice and condensed, a lovely catch up of what's going on in the world of Rev Pro and what's coming up. But yeah, thanks for listening to the warm up of the Dream Factory. I've been Eamon Hamilton, and we'll see you very soon.